Yesterday, a Multnomah County grand jury indicted Alaska Airline pilot Joseph Emerson on 84 endangerment charges after being accused of trying to shut off the engines of a plane while he was off duty and riding in the cockpit jump seat while en route to San Francisco.
Well, however, the grand jury did not indict Emerson on attempted murder charges. Today, he was in federal court for the second time, where a judge decided that Emerson will be released, but with conditions. Fox 12's Paulina Aguilar was in that courtroom and hears from the suspect's wife.
44-year-old Joseph Emerson was released from federal court today and is allowed to return to his home in California with conditions. We did hear from his wife after the hearing, who says that she and her family are happy to have him home. His lawyer also spoke out, explaining his mental state. He says that Emerson is happy, optimistic, rational, and normal.
Joe's getting released from federal court today. We're very happy about that.
44-year-old Joseph Emerson sat quietly before a judge in his second federal court appearance with his family also in the courtroom. On Tuesday, a grand jury did not indict Emerson on attempted murder charges.
I think Joe lacked criminal intent. We're very happy they didn't charge the attempted murder.
And today, Emerson was released from federal custody on the following conditions. Emerson is prohibited from possessing narcotics or psilocybin. He must undergo a mental health evaluation and is not allowed to board any aircraft. He has been approved to return to his home in Pleasant Hill, California, where his wife, Sarah, will accompany him.
My kids are really happy. We want to have Dad back. He's happy to be able to come home. And yes, he's doing well. He's an amazing man. He's funny. He's outgoing. He's friendly. He loves to have people over at our house. I married him because he was sensitive and caring and kind.
Emerson pleaded not guilty to 84 charges, including endangering an aircraft and recklessly endangering another person. Court documents say in October, Emerson was riding in the jump seat in the cockpit on a flight from Everett, Washington to San Francisco when he tried to grab two red handles that could activate the plane's fire suppression system, essentially cutting off fuel to the engines. Documents also say he was restrained by zip ties and tried to open the emergency exit but was stopped by flight attendants.
There are so many people that have supported and loved him through this whole process and continue, and it just shows the character of my husband, how much people have reached out to us.
Emerson told investigators he had consumed magic mushrooms 2 days before and not slept for about 40 hours. Court documents also say Emerson told officials he was in a mental health crisis and has been struggling with depression.
And the other focus is pilots just not treating themselves for ordinary issues that ordinary citizens treat themselves for, because if they have these issues, they can't talk about it with their medical examiner because they would have their medical certificate suspended and no longer be able to fly.
There's just a lot to it, and I think that will eventually come out. I don't know, it just was it's a hard situation for a lot of people, not just Joe, for the people that were on the airplane, for the pilots, for the flight attendants, and it's unfortunate that it happened, and I'm just glad that he's doing better now.
Emerson is due back in court tomorrow for his arraignment on state charges. However, his lawyer says they also expect him to be released from state custody. Reporting in Southwest Portland, Paulina Aguilar, Fox 12 Oregon.